Welcome back to another lesson, and in this lesson we're going to cover a simple but very effective progression in actually chord voicing that reappears in many popular songs. I'm going to play it and then we're going to look at some variations to it and different ways of maybe voicing it or playing it across the keyboard. I'm going to start with an A minor chord in the right hand. So I have an A, C, and E. And then I'm just going to play it in an alternating fashion. And then the lowest note, the A, is just going to go down as I play. So this is the progression, and it's very pervasive. You can hear it in many different songs and different variations. Let's play it with the bass. So my bass is also going to go down, starting from A. Now, I don't have to use this particular inversion for A minor. This works well with the other inversions. Let's say I start out from this particular inversion, which is also an A minor. So I'm playing an E, A, and C. And again, I'm taking this A note and going down a semitone each time. Again, I'm going to add the bass in the left hand. And the other inversion, C, E, and A, and take this A and go down. Now, how can you use this inversion in an actual song? Well, the question is, or the questions that you should ask yourself are the following. What does this resolve to? So after you play this, what can you resolve it to? There are many different answers, but there are some very natural ones. So one answer is to F major. So you're playing You can do this, by the way, with any minor chord, and the resolution would be to a major chord that is two whole tones beneath the minor chord. Another natural resolution for this is to wherever the minor chord was going in the first place. What do I mean by that? Let's say I have a progression. C major to A minor to D minor to G back to C. Now I can take any of the two minor chords here, which are A minor and D minor, and just add this additional progression within them as I play the progression. I'm not going to play it in exactly the same way, but have a listen and you'll get an idea of what I mean. So notice what I've done there. I've taken the C major as is, the A minor as is, and then in the D minor I started out lowering the bass note. I didn't get, so I did a D minor, the D then goes down a semitone, another semitone, and finally the last position, which is this, was simply replaced by the last chord in the progression, which is the G. So the D minor was going to the G in the first place, and it went to the G in this variation as well. All I did was stick this thing in the middle. And I didn't really have time for the last chord in the sequence. We can also do this sort of trick with the A minor in there. So now I'm doing this moving bass trick, both with the A minor and the D minor. Here's another variation, exactly the same thing, but just different inversions for the chords. Let's look at another voicing for this same progression. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this A minor, and as my A is going down, I'm going to add a counter motion with a note that's going up. Put together, they sound now. This last combination is usually too difficult to play in one hand, so you have to give up something. Let me just play it together for you and you'll see what I mean. Now, this is going to go in two ways. Here's the next step. And the last step, I can't really stretch my hand to fit it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of let go of this C here. I'm just going to play the E. Put together, this is how it sounds like. The same trick can be done with, we've seen a D minor, let's do it with a D minor. The same sort of counter motion can also be applied to the left hand. So I can do this decreasing note trick, and instead of doing the counter motion in the right hand, I'm going to do it in the left hand. So instead of playing a bass that goes down, I'm going to play a bass that goes up. But together it's going to sound like this. And then I can go to the D minor. The same sort of trick can also be applied to major chords. I'm going to start with a C, and I'm going to let the C go down a semitone each time. The thing here is that the last chord, this, doesn't really have very good definition. So you can actually change it. We're going to change it just by a bit. It looks like an A minor 7th or an A major 7th. So we're just going to play one of these instead. So instead of playing, I'm going to add either the major 3rd or minor 3rd. So I get two possible variations. And this A dominant 7th goes to, well, naturally, a D minor. That's a perfect fourth above it. It's a 5-1. It's a classic harmonic progression. Put together, we get That's it for now. I hope you've learned something interesting, and I hope to see you next time. If you've made it this far, then I'm happy to put in a shameless plug for my sister's online jewelry store. She makes handcrafted jewelry, and she has an online jewelry store in Etsy. You should check it out if that's your thing. There's a link in the description and also in this thumbnail. That's it. I'll see you next time.